Oh, we rolling. All right. Hello, 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 everyone. Everyone, just gonna wait for a few people to show up. I want to thank my guest today for. Okay, I was like, oh my goodness, look, I gotta read. Just want to thank everyone for showing up today. I know that it's Sunday, and Sunday's kind of like a downtime for everyone. But we wanted to come on and kind of get this plus size conversation started. Hey, Ashley, thanks for joining. Kind of get this plus size
Hey,
conversation started because it's a
Ashley.
conversation that needs to happen. I think that it's
Mm-hmm.
time for plus sizes to be more recognized in the reselling community. I'm really passionate about this, and I'm so happy that my guests today are as well. Hello, Michelle. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Hey, Nikki. Thanks for joining.
Hello.
So we're
Hello,
just gonna get this
Michelle
ball
and
started.
Nikki.
It's- we're gonna get this ball started and let everyone introduce themselves. I'll start at the top with Dee.
Hi, I'm Didi. I am the Diva of Curve Texas on Instagram, and on YouTube, I am the Diva of Curves on Poshmark. I am a Poshmark reseller, plus size, vintage, and I have been reselling for about 8 months.
Brittany.
Hi, I'm Brittany. My Instagram handle is Fupas and Fedoras. I am a plus size wardrobe stylist, and I am new to reselling. I have only been reselling a few weeks.
Well,
Oh
welcome to the
wow. And
resale life.
Terry. Yes.
Welcome. How are you liking it so far? Sorry, I just had to ask.
I like it. It's definitely, I don't know why it took me so long. It shouldn't have taken this long. It's not hard. It's easier than I thought. I
Mhm.
think it was just the dread of organizing all my
Mhm.
stuff.
Well, yeah, that is very true. Well, my name is Terry. I'm involving always on all platforms, and I have been reselling for 5 years. And thank you, everybody that's come on out. I appreciate you.
Yes, yes. And of course, I'm Rhonda, the Pink Diva Studio on Instagram and Pink Diva Studio on Poshmark. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I really kind of want to talk about plus sizes and brands. So my thing about plus sizes and brands are how they are sizing their items.
Mhm.
And of course, all brands aren't the same. As my handle goes, my tagline goes, plus size doesn't mean one size.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I know that Didi, you had some opinions about as far as well, all of us do really, as far as size and different brands. I know you and Brittany are more familiar with that because you've had experience with
Mhm.
Lane Bryant and various other retail. So
Yes.
whichever one.
Well, I'll hop in. I'll say for myself, I have wore clothes from different sectors, being that I have went up and down in size. So when I was smaller, it was easier to go into like your rainbows and things like that and find a 3X. However, when you go to a stout shop like Catherine's or Roman's, that 3X is not the same. So in Catherine's, I would be like a 1. And so that's
Right.
just an example of how you can go in one store and you're a 3X, and you go into another store and you're a 1.
Mhm.
Even with Torque, they have the actual numbers. They don't have an X, they don't have a plus. And so it's always a constant guessing game, especially with me being heavier on the bottom. So I could wear one size again in one store, then go into another size because of the material. I have to go up, especially like satin, anything that does not have any stretch or pull. I typically always have to go a size or two up.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
me, being that
What?
I am, oh, um, for me, being plus and or closer to the extended plus,
Mhm.
um, I've never really been smaller than a 22. At my peak, I'm about a 30. So for me, what I find, I typically have to go to plus size stores. But when I do go to stores that claim plus size, even if the items are bigger, I've learned that they're still not fitted for my body type. The dresses that have a really narrow waist or really small, narrow arms, or the pants would be oddly low, on the waist. And so I'm learning that just because it says it's plus size doesn't mean it's actually plus size. It may just be a bigger article of clothing.
I totally agree with you, Brittany. It's like
Mhm.
that, and what's interesting is, most women in the United States are plus size, and this is a dilemma that we have, which I think is why, I guess when you're buying online, measurements are really key.
They
Because, like
are.
you said, I always have issues with coats for some reason. They'll be like,
Mhm.
I can go anywhere, get shirts, dresses, anything in one size with no problem. When it comes to a coat, it's crazy for some reason. They'll say the coat's one size, and it's like it doesn't fit
Mhm.
right in this area, in the arm area.
The arms.
Um,
Yep.
it's crazy. So it's definitely a dilemma when you're plus size, and that's the biggest problem that I have. Is definitely with coats and jackets, and certain tops as well.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I
But
think, well,
the
now
other
I
thing
have a
is, what
twofold
about you,
problem.
Rhonda?
Yeah, I have a twofold problem. Is that
Twofold.
I'm short. I'm short.
Yes. Mhm.
So I have short people problems.
Yes.
And because like I'm 5'1". I don't care what anybody says,
Mhm.
I'm 5'1". And
I'm there.
Are you
and
We
so of
here.
serious?
course I'm hippie.
Mhm.
And of course I'm hippie. So, I always have had to dress for my behind.
Mhm.
And, just figuring out sizes is always just a pain
Yeah.
because every brand is different. Now, when
Mhm.
Torrid had their used the 1X, 2X, 3X method, then of course I was in a higher bracket.
Yeah.
Now, it's the 1, 2, 3, method that they go by. So that kind of changed the game a little bit. Well, for the better, because I'm a little small. So I'm loving that.
Mhm.
But, you know, it's just a difficult situation to find something that fits. Either you got to go, either it's too big and
Yep.
bulky, but fits, but you just have extra space around the waist,
Mhm.
or they're too long because petite isn't petite
Exactly.
as you probably someone who's shorter, like myself, where petite, but petite, no, petite
Mhm.
doesn't even go up over my rear end.
Nope.
So it's just so
Uh-uh.
many, it's just,
Uh-uh.
it's really crazy. I used to have to go into talls to make sure it covered and then adjust the length.
Mhm.
So, when it comes to extended sizes, you guys know I've had this conversation before, is the extended sizes. A lot of people didn't even know that sizes could go up past maybe a 5X or a 6X.
Yeah.
Well, they do,
They do.
you
Yep.
know, and look, and just to prove my point, I have to prove that. When I was sourcing yesterday with my sister Dee Dee, I did find these pants, which are an 8X.
Thanks.
Oh my
They
They
God.
go
go
up.
up.
Oh,
They go up.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just hard to find.
So
Yeah,
these
you think about that. Yeah.
they are, but they can be found, but they are
Mhm.
hard to find. And when I came across these, I was like, oh my gosh, let me go ahead and grab them for this. Of course, I'll post them on Poshmark anyway, or Mercari.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely.
but just to let people know that there are sizes beyond 5X, and
Mhm.
6X. Now, Brittany, I know she and I had a conversation about even those sizes being sold as 5X, but Brittany.
Yeah, I actually just sold a robe that was labeled 5X, and I made sure to reiterate that it fits per measurements more like a 22. That's
Mm-hmm.
so misleading. It was from a major retailer and it was labeled 5X, and I'm like, a junior's 5X,
That's what
because
it
a
is.
5X does
Mm-hmm.
not equate to a 22 or
No.
24. And so, and I find that especially people who aren't experienced in shopping with plus size clothing, they
Mm-hmm.
see that size online and they're like, yes, a 4X, yes,
Yeah.
a 5X. They get it, of course, without looking at the measurements, and you're disappointed, you're frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
you're confused on what size you wear. Are you bigger than what you
Exactly.
thought? But it's just mislabeling, it's misrepresentation in the plus size period.
Yeah. I want to
That's
piggy.
a good point. Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
think
Go
it
ahead.
does
Go
a
ahead,
lot.
Gia.
I think it does a lot to your mental, especially if you're someone who has struggled with weight and you're like, yay, I've lost weight and now I can get in this size. And then they flip the measurements or they do something really wonky as far as the material. And so I think that also plays a lot on people's parts because some people are like, I'm finally in a 16. I lost enough weight to be in a 16. And like you say, you order an item and once you get it, it's too small. And I mean substantially too small. And
Mhm.
so, sometimes that does something to our self confidence because we've worked so hard to achieve whatever milestone it is, be it weight, um, measurement wise, or size wise. And then you get that can be extremely discouraging.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's such a good point, DD. And I wanted to piggyback off of something that Brittany was saying too, because I buy wholesale. And I try to buy wholesale plus size, but what happens is I'll get it, and I always try it on myself because obviously
Mhm.
I'm a plus size girl. And if it doesn't fit right on me, then a lot of times, like you said, they're not even real plus sizes. They'll
Mm-mm.
maybe XL or a large. So then I have to like do the measurements, and I have to put in the description.
yeah.
This says this, but it's really
Yeah,
this, but some people don't want to buy it because it says a certain thing. People are really conscious about what's on the tag. It's a
they
mental
are.
game that's out there as well. So it's unfortunate.
For me, when I have clients, I never ask them what size do you wear, because I just
Mhm.
skip that headache. I ask for their measurements.
Mhm.
Right.
The rule of thumb when it comes to US sizing is times two your measurement. So if you wear a size 24, your waist should be roughly 48 inches. And somewhere in retail, we've just done away with the formula. I mean, we just threw the formula away. But I really do, I don't look at sizes anymore. It makes it harder for my clients. It makes it harder for me to shop for them. When you're hopping from brand to brand, store to store, I go straight to the measurement. So I know it's a hassle, but you should know your measurements. It's going to save you a lot of headache. Just know your measurements.
I know, Angie, a lot of times, depending when I buy wholesale, if I get something and it's fitted right, I may do it by the actual measurements, depending on what the product is. Like I've sold like leggings,
Mhm.
and I'll do it like at the 1X, 2X, as long as I've tried it on and I know, okay, these are sized appropriately. But a lot of times it is best to do it by measurements, just like Brittany was mentioning, because it does make a big difference. I agree with that statement.
I don't include measurements because a lot of my stuff is stretch material. So the measurements are not going to be 100% active. They normally have a lot of two-way stretch material in it. So when I give a measurement, I always try to actually describe the fabric. So I'll say this has a lot of give, and I'll say it has maybe an inch to 2 inch worth of give, or this does not have a lot of give. It is just a fabric. I mean, it's a cotton fabric. So that's what I typically go on. Again, it's based on the clothes that I'm selling because a lot of my stuff, like I said, is stretch. There's not a whole lot of like denim or stuff that's not going to have any stretch in it. So I am happy to provide measurements if people ask for them. But again, they're not going to be 100% accurate for what I'm selling because it's going to have so much stretch and give in it.
That's a
Oh,
good
right.
point. That's a good point
Right.
there, D. Yeah, because when you're talking about the stretch, that makes a difference. And I
Mhm.
like when people actually put that in their post too. And putting the material, especially for plus size
Mhm.
women, is so key. Like when you talk about
Yes.
pants and stuff. Oh my goodness, yeah, that makes such a huge difference.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I definitely, now, anybody who knows me knows I hate to measure, but I will, especially when it comes to cropped pants, especially when it comes to
Mhm.
crop pants. I understand that issue, and I
Yeah.
think Michelle was saying this as well, is that I could buy some crop pants, and they would be like pants,
Yeah.
not necessarily crops on me, because again, short people problems. So, when it comes to things like that, I definitely go ahead and measure,
Mhm.
because in that instance, someone could be short like me, and
Yes.
where they might be ankle pants, let me say that,
Mhm.
or they could be taller where they would hit like a crop pant is supposed to.
Mhm.
So it's always, good. I try to do that, even though you know how I feel about measurements. But with plus sizes, I mean, I think that sometimes I
You
you made
have
a good
to.
point, Didi. And all the time, I don't have everything doesn't have stretch in it that I
Mhm.
sell, but I think particularly jeans have a little give, of
Mhm.
course, and some of Lane Bryant's crop pants do as
Yeah.
well. So I think that that's an important thing to mention in the description.
Mhm.
But I always try to, um, add what do you call it, a size chart
Yeah.
when I
Yeah,
list something,
yeah,
because
That's
again,
helpful.
all plus sizes are not the same.
that's
Mhm.
And just
right.
like I showed you this 8X pant, now this is just one brand who makes it. So this 8X pants could fit true to size. Now, back in the day, I probably could have demonstrated that for y'all, but we here. So, but another company, 8X, could be tighter, could be bigger.
Mhm.
You just never know. And I think that it's really difficult for plus sizes sometimes to find that perfect fit
Mhm.
without
It really,
alteration.
it
Yeah.
really is, and like something that Dee Dee said earlier, and also Dee Dee, Nikki said your hair is beautiful. I meant to say
Thank
that
you.
earlier, but one thing that she was mentioning earlier that is like a mental thing is when you have to get clothes a size up
Oh.
and you're plus size, it really messes with your psyche for a lot of reasons.
Mhm.
Obviously, you're like you don't want to be going up a size. That can mess up anybody's psyche that's not plus size. But also, too, the extra fabric can make you look bigger than what you actually are.
Yes.
And that's the other thing about the industry is like whoever designs clothes, they don't take that into
Terrible.
consideration. There's like a lot of clothes that are made that just will not be attractive
Mm-mm.
on a woman that has curves. I really love the statement curves more, and that was supposed to happen in the industry, change it to curvy sizes, but they haven't really implemented that yet. But it just really doesn't fit for people with curves, so then it makes them end up looking dumpy and frumpy, and
Mhm.
hey, we're not dumpy and frumpy, we still got it going on. You know what I
And
mean?
that is the thing, is
I
that
love that.
nobody wants to walk around looking frumpy. I mean, I am
Mm-mm.
60, but I don't want to dress like I'm 60.
No.
And if you're younger, and you're a larger, you have a larger body, then you don't want to dress like, Humpty Dumpty
No.
either.
Nope.
Mhm.
I just think
Actually,
that, there's just so much,
You
there's just so
you
much room
really
for
don't.
improvement. Angie B
And it's
says, I also noticed that plus size high rise jeans are hardly
Are
ever high
horrible.
rise on my body.
Nope.
thank
Anybody else
you,
have this issue?
Angie.
amen.
I
Thank
have one
you.
pair. I had one pair, and that was when I got small, and I love them because they hold in the stomach,
Uh-huh.
and I have a little fupa, even though people don't think I do. I do, and so I only had one pair, and that was like I said. I think I was maybe a 16, but even then I was in like a 4X. but that was my only pair, and I love them. I could not find them. I know Rhonda was mentioning that Lane Bryant had some with like the 3 buttons, so I'm very interested to find them and try them on.
I love the
Yes,
3 buttons.
I haven't had a chance to look that up yet, but let me
Woo,
tell
I
you
can't wait.
that they do. I was on their live the other day, and they have a 3-button
Ooh.
high waisted rather.
Mhm.
But it looks just like a really nice pair of jeans. So I haven't checked into them yet, but look, I'm gonna
The
because
3
three
high
button
rises
high
are
waisted.
my thing.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that.
I love to put clients in them. I need the high waisted versus the high rise because my stomach is long. My stomach hangs a lot. So I find with the high waisted, they cut into me. And in order for them not to cut into me, I have to get them so big that you lose my legs, you lose my butt, and it almost looks like I have on a boyfriend or a straight leg when I want to show my curve. So the high waisted eliminated that problem. Like you can tuck your stomach in, it's going to give you extra hold without cutting anywhere. And it's just clean and fitted all the way down. I probably have about 6 pair right now. From gray to black to dark denim to light denim. I love the 3-button high waisted versus the high rise jeans.
Okay.
That's good to know. Thank you. I'm going to get them.
Yeah, that's good. Now, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Okay, this is my daughter, y'all. This is Adrian. She says she's glad more brands are making plus size clothes cuter because they didn't used to for sure.
No,
I mean, it's just crazy how they were all frumpy. But Aaron, let me pull Aaron's up.
I definitely think they're making them cuter, but it's still a struggle for me because I'm right in, I feel like the middle range. I'm not young enough to be in Forever 21, but I'm not quite old enough to want to be in Catherine's. Hey, some cute little boys waving at me. But it's just a struggle trying to find things that are sexy and things that are, appropriate for work, and they're not old or grandma. And so it's just a constant struggle with me trying to figure out where that lane is. And she's right. They have come a long way. So I will not take that away. The industry is definitely making strides. But I think there has to be some more versatility as far as like the fabric and stuff. Like we said earlier, it's just frumpy. Some of it is just like, why do you think we would want this?
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder how many designers are actually plus size, I guess is the right way to put it. Because, like when I look at a lot of the styles currently, it's like they'll make really nice styles for people that are slim that would actually work really well for a woman that's plus size. Like the way they cut certain shirts that'll kind of come like shoulder to shoulder and hang down. That's something that looks really good on plus size women. But sometimes you'll struggle finding shirts like that in a plus size.
Exactly.
And then like if you go,
stuff.
It's simple things that can make a woman that is curvy very attractive and actually accentuate their curves, but they won't make it for them. They'll make it for people that don't even need that. They don't even have the curves. And then they'll put oversized. I'm like, okay, that's great that you made that oversized, but how about you make it for someone that got some curves that can use that?
Yes.
Yes. Well, Aaron says the hardest part for me with jeans and pants is finding a pair that fits the front and back. Most fit one, but not the other. I hear you, sister.
That's true.
That's true. I have had that problem.
Aaron, my butt flat.
I really want.
I understand.
Brittany, you silly.
Brittany.
Mine is the other F.
Brittany.
Yeah.
I can't fit none either.
So, Brittany, was it Brittany or Dee and I cannot remember. We had this conversation about fashion plus size. And I do love their jeans as well, but I think one of you all told me that that waist is so snatched to make the rest of the body look curvy or more so, or accentuate the curve. Was that you, Brittany?
It might have been. That's
Yeah,
definitely
because
my
I'm like,
point.
I
When
ain't
it
never
comes
wore theirs.
Fashion Nova and the other like boutique really really trendy stores, they make these tiny waists, and I'm like, hey, that's a body within the plus size, but there are so many other body types. And another thing is, I'll say plus before I say curvy, because I don't feel curvy. I'm round. I am not proportionate. You know, my waist doesn't go in and my hips come back out. There is no Coke bottle. So I don't shop curvy because I have to sometimes make the illusion of curves. And it's hard to do when you're giving me an itty bitty waisted garment with these big legs, or, you know, a fitted top and the arms are almost junior size.
I just want to say thank you for that, Brittany, because that's hard for me to hear a little bit, but that's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is
not
real.
in that category. I appreciate that because I think even I was naive to that a little bit. So that's good to hear. And even my best friend is the same way. Her waist is not small. And so just like we have our own adversities, there are other adversities that are going on within the industry that we need to become aware of.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that as well. I have very broad shoulders and bust line. I won't say my waist is like small, obviously, but it does come in and then my hips go out. So I'm like the bigger Coca-Cola bottle. But at the same time, that's still a struggle to find too, because most of the time I have to get stuff that's too big that doesn't fit because my shoulders are very broad and my arms are bigger.
I hear you. Well, look, y'all might be the Coke balls, but I feel right now I'm a case of Coke. So, I want to touch on this as well.
Rhonda.
Okay.
I want to touch on this as well. Is that with someone that's whether, I don't care who it is, plus size or not, but definitely for those who are not plus size, what is your recommendation to them for selling plus sizes? Description wise, how detailed do we need to be on when we're listing those things?
I think you have to be very. I think you do have to be very detailed, and I love what Dee said earlier. Because it's really important for plus size people, especially in pants. Does it have some give? I'm talking about like jeans. Does it have some give? And even certain types of tops, depending on how they're styled. What type of material. I think it's really key. I know that when I do list plus sizes for certain items, I do give very much detail because I'm thinking about myself and, so I do think you do have to be detailed.
I appreciate Dee for mentioning that, because I haven't been putting a lot of detail. And so I will definitely be more mindful of letting them know, hey, this has a lot of stretch or this doesn't. I have seen where people ask in the comments, and I'm more than happy to answer them when they put in the comment, but I'm going to be proactive and put it in there, no stretch, slightly stretchy, lots of stretch. And I would definitely work on that moving forward as a reseller.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just strides we all can take.
That's important.
Yeah. I think it's just strides that we all can take. And I think for me, it's just learning because I'm still so new. And so I'm just really figuring out what the need is and what the clients need, because ultimately that's who I'm here to serve. It's not about me. It's about them and making it easy and comfortable for them to shop. Again, we already have most of our stores online. So they don't get the comfortability or the luxury of trying on their clothes. So they need us to be honest with them and be like, girl, this say 5X, but it is not going to fit you if you are hippie or if you are big breasted. Just being honest with them before they get there, they're disappointed or they're having to file a claim because you didn't describe it as such.
I totally agree.
I totally agree with that. And the people are, just us being plus size, we know the challenges that we have, whether it's online or whether we're going to the store. and we want certain things. So why wouldn't we think that a customer would want to know certain things? And I think that
Right.
this is where you have to come in and do your research on certain brands. Because again, plus size doesn't mean one size.
Exactly.
And another thing too that we got to keep in mind, and this is not even plus size, but I remember I had got some wholesale socks before. They're very beautiful socks. There were knee socks back when people were really into that. And I could wear the knee socks, but when I put them on, they didn't come up to where they should be because I actually have kind of like muscular calves. So, and I know my calf length. So the first thing I told people in it is you got people that are slim that have big calves, like they have muscular calves. So I was like, this is not for someone that has this type of calf. I even did the measurements on it. I said my calf is this, and it did not come up. So, this is more for somebody that has slim legs or something. It's certain items that, you got to do special descriptions, and it's not even what you would consider a plus size item. So
I agree.
Exactly. And I just think that, again, researching, particular brands, I think for anything that you're selling is an awesome thing to do. But I think that plus sizes are a little bit more tricky. And some people might not see that, but they are. I mean, where you have a large that could probably go on a large, or maybe even fit somebody like a medium, plus size are a little bit different. And I think that you just have to really do your due diligence on that. And as much information that you can give this buyer is really key. Or just even communicating with them if they're interested, answering questions. I know sometimes we don't like to answer questions and things like. I don't mind. I'll answer a question all day long. But it just gives them, not only make them feel better about their shopping experience, but giving them more detail to hit that sale is, I mean, why not? But I want to move to. Go ahead, Terry.
No, I was just going to say, it's just unfortunate that if you're like trying to buy wholesale plus size, it's really complicated. When you said something about tricky, it is like so tricky. And that's why sometimes I wanted to cater more to plus size because I felt like I could model it more, but it's been so tricky. It's a complicated thing.
And I think a lot of it is because a lot of that stuff is made overseas.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're starting to see more of that stuff being made overseas. Because even like, I'm just going to throw it out, like the Lovely Wholesale, all of that stuff is made overseas. So they're saying 5X. And that's where those hauls have really become so popular because we want to know, like, what is that going to fit me like? And so that's why YouTubers are just going crazy with these hauls because they help us out so much. And you'll realize that a lot of those 5 and 6Xs really do not fit us true to size.
No, they don't. And because Wish, I think, uses a lot of that stuff. That's not a wholesaler, by the way. But I only brought them up because there was I only brought them up.
You're gonna order a 1X, it's gonna be like this.
Right. There was a cute outfit I got from them. Not an outfit, I'm sorry, but it was like it was a hoodie type, really cool jacket like thing. It was going to be really cool looking. And I did, Rhonda, I went the extended size, right? I said, I'm going to get this extended size because I knew they made it. I said, it's probably going to be crazy. I got that extended size. I think probably even a 1X. I went extended. So,
and see, that's the thing.
I'm like, it's just crazy.
I'll tell you,
it's horrible.
That's the thing that keeps me from buying wholesale is because I know I've had a friend who bought some things from Wish, and she was like, "Oh, girl, I can't tell you, I couldn't even wear it. She had to give it to her daughter, and she could barely wear it." But that keeps me from buying wholesale because I actually did that once off Poshmark, and I bought something from a wholesaler on there, and I was like, well, where did this size? I'm looking at the package. Did I get the right sizes? Because, honey, sizes, no. Because I had gone up in size. And my daughter actually could wear, my daughter and granddaughter, who were smaller sizes, could fit those perfectly.
Right.
And I was just like, now what kind of dress is this? I mean, it's just crazy the size and the cuts, and the
Mhm.
prices that some brands want to charge you,
Oh
and they
God.
write it off to the fact that it's the how much material or the cut is different. This,
Right.
that, and the other. So that's another issue I
Yeah, it's really
have.
hard. So I'm very when I do wholesale, I have to be I do like to know the material like DD was talking about. I do need
Mhm.
to know if it has stretch, and I'm just real selective about it. But that's why I don't have too much plus size
Mhm.
in my closet, even though I would like to have more. So I'm gonna start looking at liquidations for like Torrid and places like that, and I'll
Mhm.
probably more so snatch up that. But getting wholesale plus size is very complicated.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Oh, Angie says plus size swimwear is a whole different level with sizing and fit as well. It drives me crazy. I have not done any type of swimwear or dealt with swimwear, so I'm not sure how swimwear fits. Child, it's been so long since I had swimwear.
Well, I
I do
get
I
it.
don't know if
tour.
anybody just.
Yeah,
I
I
do
get.
tour, but I normally have to do a small size on top and a large size on the bottom. So I'm normally like a 2X or a 2 up top and like a 3 or a 4X at the bottom. So one pieces are normally like a no-go for me. I normally have to get separates. And those are kind of pricey. So that's
Oh, okay.
what I run into is having to get those separates.
Hey, Didi, have you ever
Right.
gotten swimwear from a door?
I have not. I normally do Forever 21 just because I know it's so small up top I can fit. And I do
Oh, okay.
retort and I mix or match brands. So I typically just mix or match whatever I can find to fit. Walmart has pretty good, believe it or not, too. They
They
really
do. They do
buyers.
because I've done that
Yeah.
before one time. I've gotten Walmart, and I was gonna say Adore does good as well because I've
Oh,
gotten
thank you. I'll
I
check them
actually got a
out.
toothpaste. Yeah, I got a two-piece from Adore one time, and it's actually really good.
Hmm.
But I like your concept of switching and mixing and matching. That's pretty smart. I like that.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Ashley asks, how do y'all feel about Savage Fenty plus sizes?
Ooh. I have
Does
not
anybody
tried
know about it?
Savage. I have not tried it, but I'm extremely impressed with them being so inclusive. Um, with the males and using a variety of sizes, shapes, colors. So they get like a high five from me on that. However, I don't know about the sizing. So I can't give you a whole lot. But like I said, I'm just impressed with her efforts thus far. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully I can get my hands on it because it goes so fast. Her stuff goes super fast.
It does.
Yeah. Have y'all
Yes,
ever
and I'm
heard of
actually
part
looking
and
to
part?
Ooh,
I'm
Go
looking
ahead.
to get some of her plus size. I'm gonna just sample some and see how it goes. But I love the fact that she dedicates her some of her line to plus sizes, and I'm
mhm.
more impressed that she has plus size models. I mean, and with
Yeah.
real bodies,
Real
Real
body.
not
body.
real bodies, because I think
I
that
think.
always makes a difference. That's why I push up
Mhm.
to you, Dee Dee, and Brittany for modeling your clothes. And now, I've only seen a small amount of Brittany's, but Dee Dee, honey, she lets us have it all the time, modeling her clothes, giving us
Mhm.
Beyonce in that green dress and all this kind
Thank
of thing.
you.
So, I love to see real plus size
Mhm.
bodies and fashion on plus size bodies, because
Yeah.
we need that realness. We don't, I mean, it's all fine and good for the sculpted plus size,
Uh-huh.
but I like to see some real plus sizes, because
I do too.
those are our customers. Real plus size women are buying these clothes.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm more
Yeah.
prone to be excited about that.
Yes.
Have y'all? Have
So,
y'all
in
ever
the
heard of?
just
I can't hear.
go ahead, Terry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was going to say something. Have y'all heard of part and parcel?
No, I haven't heard of those. Mm-mm.
So.
Okay, well, this was the one company that had actually made everything. It was actually created by a plus size woman, and she made clothes designed for all types of plus sizes. She actually used to work at Poshmark, and then she left. And even Manish had like helped promote her site, and she was doing partnerships, which I was in it. And then she also had did a thing where she had set up a modeling agency, because one thing y'all were talking about with companies not using plus size models, they actually don't really have enough plus size models to represent. And when we say plus size, we're talking true plus size, because I know what you meant when you were saying the sculpted plus size. I like that term, but yeah, because not all these women that are out here are these sculpted plus size. So she had actually set that up, and her clothes, I mean, I got clothes, I was getting 1X's with no problem. They jackets fitting perfectly, because she did a thing where she would make the sizes. She would ask, she said something about your biceps. Do you have this? Do you have that? So she really catered to like the problems that plus size women have, like with the arm area, or like with certain pants in the leg area. And it was incredible. And then when COVID came out, she ended up going out of business because she couldn't get the small business loans at the time.
Wow.
So she's working for Facebook right now, but I was just thinking about that because I was talking about that earlier, and I'm like, we really need to get in there and do something about that, because that was the one company. I mean, she had it on point. I mean, you could get the size that you really are, and you would definitely fit. Because that was my thing. I said, well, I'm gonna get this jacket from her. This jacket ain't right. I'm like, got that jacket 1X, and the arms was like perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
And see, that sounds like couture.
That's nice.
It sounds like she had a couture shop where everything was custom.
Yeah, she did. She worked really hard on it. The clothes are really nice, and I love the fact that she like let us have a partnership so we could actually sell to our friends and everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, I really hate that it happened, but we need something like that again.
I would love that. I would love something to be styled for me from head to toe. I would love all that.
Right,
Speaking of styling, Brittany that's her thing at Fupas _and_ fedoras. If you're not following her, please follow her. Wardrobe stylist. And how have you been doing this, Brittany?
On my own, 2 years, but professionally, I've been doing it about 7 years.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is.
Yes, honey. Hopefully she can pull a sister together one day. But I am so glad that everyone joined us today. Actually,
You're pretty
know,
pulled together yourself,
I need.
Wanda.
Look, let me tell you, y'all know I don't have clothes. I just laugh at myself because I looked in my closet and I was like, I don't have anything but t-shirts and leggings. And because that's how, the COVID has had us dressing for the past,
Yes.
Now that's true too.
That's just how we've been. We've always just been really extra comfy cozy.
Yep.
So
I did for like a few months, and then I was like, okay, let me get out these t-shirts and leggings. I will get completely, totally dressed and go nowhere. Like this is every day. It's every day.
I hate
Well, you look good, by the way. So
first of all, I can't be at home all dressed like that with nowhere to go. I need somewhere to go. I'm gonna have a photo shoot.
I've got clothes that are sitting in my closet.
I'm gonna have a photo shoot or something.
Yeah, she does.
Oh my God. Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. I'm just actually cutting things a tad bit short today. And actually, we're going to come back, and I really want to get into some other plus size issues as far as bra fits, which Brittany she doesn't know it, but she knows it now. She's going to enlighten us on. And just other various things that, we got going on in the plus size world, because my whole thing about doing this is that I want to bring more plus sizes to the forefront on selling platforms. I want to see more plus size women. I want to have more plus size fashion be recognized. I want people who are selling plus sizes that aren't plus size to know what they're selling and how to sell it, how to describe all these things. And of course, I have a plus size group, Brittany just joined. Terry. Mhm. It is Plush and Posh on Instagram. So if you are not a member of that yet, please go ahead and sign up. We'd love to have you. We have some great things coming up. To Dee Dee, the Diva of Curves, Texas. My sister, we had a good time yesterday. I love it. Thank you, Terry, because you know you're the bomb.com, evolving always on all platforms. And again, if you aren't following these ladies, please do so. Dee Dee has to go to her next gig, which is Pink Sofa, which will start at 6 o'clock Central Time. And don't forget to go over there and say hey to her. I'm not sure what her topic is today, but go say hey. And
talking about networking.
I'm not really doing this every Sunday, but maybe every other Sunday. And the next time I'll actually be back on talking about my weight loss. And then after that, we'll pick up with plus sizes. I appreciate everyone for joining. Who is Plush and Posh? Yes, Brittany, Plush and Posh. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on Insta.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.